videos, learning has become, I don't know if all of you have heard of TLDR. Anybody knows what is TLDR? Yeah, go for it.
It's an abbreviation for too long didn't read.
Exactly. It's a TLDR means too long didn't read. So even one page or even material can seem long for some of us. That's where our consciousness or our attention span is going. What I'm trying to say is that it's all good, yeah? So the point is that we need to understand some of these things. People who are making the policies, who are the decision makers, need to involve the people we are trying to train and develop. They need to be aware of some of the way things are changing, and then come up with solutions that can provide and give a developmental approach. So absolutely, the fit, the development plan is very crucial, especially when you're hiring new people.
Just to add, in fact, learning and development now in the newest HR trend, especially 2019, 2020, is going to be more of implementing VR, the virtual reality, augmented reality, through the apps or the experience, and also simulations. The organizations, gone are as she rightly said, the classroom setting, but create simulations, and that's how the training will happen.
Thank you, panelists. You've got a booming voice, don't you, Madhavan?
Thanks, Rob. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sahil Nair. We'll keep the question very brief, and it would be fantastic if each one of you could give me very brief answers. But I would love to hear the best practices in each of your organizations. So the question is, in this world of hyper-personalization, which is what we're getting to, and my hypothesis is that society should mirror, and organization should mirror what society does, right? So today, if I can unlock my smartphone with my retina, why do I need to type a password on my laptop and change it every 3 weeks in office, right? So my basic hypothesis, which I'm starting off with, is to say that organizations need to mirror society. Yeah? With that hypothesis, in a hyper-personalized world, do any of y'all have any best practices that either you know of or you implement in a multi-generational workforce? Very specific question. Hyper-personalization for a multi-generational workforce. Any best practices?
We have moved our complete intranet into an app. Okay, so because this is what the generation does, they're on their phone and they're using app all the time. So the complete intranet is now available on the app. We have moved along with the times, with them saying you don't have to look at your desktop, you could be on the go anywhere, but you need to know what's happening in the complete, look at the app. That's what we did.
That's for one generation. I'm trying to say hyper-personalization across, say, if Prof is working, I am working, Rao Sahib is working, and the youngest V school student is joining in who's Gen Z.
So, but that's app is applicable for everybody, right? It's open to just anyone and not. It is also open to public.
Fair. My question is slightly different. It's about saying today on Netflix, basis on what I see, Netflix tells me, Sahil, this is what you should watch next. Which will be very different from what Sarita watches, it will be very different from what Isha watches and Pratik and so on and so forth. So from the concept of hyper-personalization in a multi-generational workforce, do you have any policy, process, system where that same process is very differently implemented across segments of generations? That's my question.
Well, Sahil, I just wanted to answer your question. I don't know whether I'm going to answer it effectively. See, one is that I strongly feel, and you made a very good statement, that organizations are a reflection of the society. Now, society is not just one generation. So it is, baby boomers and their dads as well, or dads and moms, right? And the same thing is happening in a lot of organizations also. The other thing which I also believe in is that the world of digital is not the world of or, it's the world of and, right? And therefore, whatever that you're doing has to be a blend, right? So from a learning and development perspective, what I was talking about earlier, we do have apps. We're getting apps with the AI, right? Which would not only get, my preference of learning and our captive content, but even open source, getting things from outside. But along with that, for others who are not so tech savvy or who are not so comfortable, we do still have the traditional methods that we have, because see, end of the day, as long as they are humans, you need to have the human touch, right? And as we say that in human resource, human comes first. So that thing should not be let go of, and I think it's a mindset. Just one, again, a personal belief. When we go back to our childhoods, right? That was a time when India was a developing country, right? And the government and everybody was working so hard to bring it up. What really happened? We saw a great amount of growth, right? But we are facing some ill effects of that now. Pollution, right? Why are we moving back to organic foods? Because if you look back in the 70s, right, we used to have that. I mean, I'm just digressing a little bit, right? So what I'm saying is that now also when we're looking at the term that you used, we have to be a little more, responsible as thought leaders, that whatever that we are implementing should not completely go off tangent. So it should not be, because I hear a lot of times people say that, we'll have bots. That's fine. You can even have a managing director as a bot, right? But then where would people go? So I think it's a world of and therefore what at least we are trying to do is a blend of physical activities, reach, and digital, where we're also going for new technology.
Let's just start with one line. The mantra today in our office, is employee first, customer second. So it's completely changed. We're from customer focus, we are saying what's the employee first.
I just want to share what we do at our office. In fact, so overall we have more than 200 employees, but in Mumbai we have 130 employees. So it's a mixed bag of, even not only the age factor and everything what we see Gen Y, Gen Z and Millennials and all, but also, they come depending upon the work, we do a lot of compliance work and everything. Depending upon, they come from different education backgrounds and everything. So, not hyper-personalization of each policy as such, but what we try to do here is, we try to create infrastructure in that way. So, we do have, infrastructure. Some of the people have the traditional, and they have a cabin setup. And some of the people, they do have you have cubicle setups and all, which are there, or desk setups and all. Like Millennials and the kind of people here, there are people, we have even what we go and see in WeWorks and all, we have that kind of setup as well. Like, with high-end ceiling and with, a typical industry looking, the cool look, which you have in kind of socials and all, so we have that kind of setup for those kind of people. So, personalization to that, infrastructure is we done that. And now, like, in the cafeteria, we also have, inside the cafeteria, we have desks and sofas and all, where people just still, if they want to work, they can work there as well. This kind of personalization we've done in our office.
I think, for me at least, what I've seen is, we need to focus on two things. One is having unique culture, which is unique to each organization, because each industry is regulated, so there is hyper-personalization may or may not be applicable or possible in all industries. We need to respect that, and everybody across the organization needs to respect that. And the second, key word, if I may say, is sensitivity. Like, we need to be sensitive. We need to be sensitive to each employee, irrespective of their situation, age, orientation, ability, disability. We just need to be sensitive. So I think as HR, we play a very important role there. It's not about how do you treat each person differently, but are you sensitive to their needs, and are you able to accommodate that within the gamut of your policy? So, for example, if somebody is wanting to use a Windows PC, we allow. Whereas we have a large workforce who is comfortable with a MacBook. Yet we have people who have never used a MacBook before, and they're comfortable only with a Windows PC. So we are fine with that. So we give people flexibility as to how they want to approach it. Some people are, like you said, happy with online training. Some people still prefer the pen and paper or a classroom training. So, those are things that once we are sensitive and we think of people, their comfort, their experience, I think it falls into place.
I felt I should not say anything, but I still want to say something not connected here. There's one company in India which, whenever it wants to change any policy, the policies are put up on the internet and the policy is on probation for 6 months. I think it's a brilliant idea for people to, that are young, old. And second one is I would agree with the values of the company. I think should be so carefully designed that it addresses people who have different dates of birth and all that. I think that's how legacy companies sometimes are able to customize themselves with the current generation, while some newer organizations may not be able to evoke the legacy. So I believe that values is really the central processing unit to give a communication that all of you are valuable. So I would just suggest that. And I heard this, and there's another company, leading IT services company. The last 2-3 months, they are, all HR queries on policy can be asked to a chatbot. The chatbot was shown live, and it was quite intelligent. Like when somebody went for travel expenses, he says, "You forgot to fill your last year's travel expense." So there's a little bit of an intelligence. So I think, making the humanoid human is probably a way of. I would only add for trust, my limited experiences, we should be having no shame to say I do not know or I made a mistake. Vulnerability and trust goes together. If we give an impression that we never make a mistake, then I think no trust can be built. So I think the biggest lessons I've got in my life is when I did vulnerable. And I would also add a point what she said, you should need to know everybody.